Yeah, I guess we should play this game. I'm so not, yeah, today isn't a good day. But, like, I
No.
can breathe now, which is good. Breathing is nice, it's fundamental. And you're here, which is nice. And, it's been 2 weeks, so I don't think, does anybody remember what happened last time? Is there,
I have notes.
I should ask, is everybody physically, if not emotionally, prepared?
Yes.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. That makes four of you. I think. Okay. So you have notes from the last time?
I do. I can read through them if nobody else wants to.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. So 2 weeks ago, we were attacked by two more demons while the succubus attempts to catch the child that we saw. The child disappears. Teleport us, maybe? Shaefira decimates the first demon. The succubus disappears, and we hear her calling to the child. Shaefira kills another demon. Basically, last session, Shaefira killed everything. Kerithlana sees the succubus grab the child and claim that they being the child knows where the page is, the codex page. Then suddenly a spectral dragon appears between the succubus and the child and attacks the succubus, chasing her off. She disappears. We finish off the last demon and we talk to the child. He is one of the dragon wyrmlings. Is that the right word?
Yeah, wyrmlings.
He tells us that his sister didn't make it, and we all got very sad. And that the demons also hurt Belly, but we actually find her nailed to the tree in the area that we're in where the child is, which isn't pleasant. Stiiv poked her just to make sure that she was definitely dead, but she was dead. The child.
I like how that's the call out.
Stiiv was checking their work.
Yep. The child transformed into a small bronze dragon wyrmling and says his name is, now I think I've probably got this wrong, Kygaria?
Kymir.
Kygaria, I've probably just pronounced it wrong.
I think Stiiv might have spelled it right in his notes, which
Oh,
shocked
okay.
me. I was like, did I give the spelling?
Oh, that's how I've spelt it. So I don't know if I must have copied it from somewhere. Yeah. So, and he says that Belly always called him Gary. So we go with that. So he tells us.
I might have unleashed his label on the map.
Right, fair enough. So he tells us that a portal opened in their family room, and that's when the demons attacked them. And at first, the dragons were fighting them off, and quite comfortably, but they had some kind of orb, and it made Kaivoth turn on her mate. So the mate was killed, but his spirit is lingering to protect his son, and that was the spectral dragon figure that we saw. Supposedly, Dad has left the codex page somewhere where the child can find it, or someone can find it, but Gary doesn't know where it is. So spoiler, it's in the dragon plushie we found in the session previously. So we figured that out quite quickly. That was really good work by us. We take it out and we give it to Therin to safeguard along with Gary. And he's going to stay where we left him in that grove. He's going to start purifying that grove. So we head off north. We see a demon patrolling. We do a surprise attack because it's not looking at us. So we blast it from afar and then finish it off up close. Keep moving north, come to a large room with the jade archway, I think. To the east is what seems to be a child's room. To the west is another tree stump room or grove. And to the north there seems to be stairs and a platform. And that's where we left it.
I think it was really telling that y'all had absolutely no intention of taking the little dragon kid around anywhere. You're like, no escorting. We don't do that here.
I just love that the specific side call out here was not that Kerithlana had and lost possession of the orb of dragon control, which led the demons to actually launch this attack.
Oh, I forgot about
that.
that.
Stiiv poked the corpse.
I mean, technically,
yeah.
I think she's the only one who knows that at this point.
And
prior
we firmly established that they were idiots to give it to her in the first place.
Yeah. Who gives Kerithlana their special, super duper powerful dragon controlling device?
And again, we get to the call outs that Apparently Kymir is mad at Stiiv for using a page of the heretofore unknown Naval Almanac to recreate a page of the Codex of the Infinite Planes instead of the potentially world-altering piece of the Draconic Prophecy.
Yes, you see, I missed that completely from my. Let me add that in.
But Stiiv poked a corpse.
Yes, that was the main thing. Stiiv poked a corpse.
At least it was with the short sword.
That's what I was thinking.
So yeah, you left
Let's clarify that.
you left Farron behind in like a saber-toothed tiger for him, and he's supposed to be babysitting the kid, and you're I guess you're investigating everything, and he's like, okay, when it's safe, when you've handled all of the fiends running around this place, come back and tell me, and I'll start purifying the grove because that's important, at least to him. Oh, that was a lovely summary, and I think you guys covered everything. So why don't you roll a charisma check in the tower?
Oh, and also that Kymir rolled 3 nat 1s in a row.
Well, Kymir
Well-
sucks.
Yeah, but we like talked about like the power of the pencil and how Shaefira was holding out pencils.
I meant to find the pencils.
And you like touched, or you got proximate, you became aware of the pencils and started rolling much better.
She showed me the pencil.
I will
Yes.
show her the pencil again.
Basked in the golden rays of the pencil of power
Woohoo! Right, sorry, charisma check.
in the tower. Wait, I think we've got everybody. Well, okay, yeah, you're the only person.
Got distracted by pencil talk.
As soon as you pencil, we all started rolling better. Because I also have a note in there that we had, as a group, everyone but Shaefira was, including the bad guys, rolling complete trash.
I know. That's why that is why that session was just Shaefira killing everything
Because she was the only one with a pencil.
with the pencil.
Absolutely. I'll do shit today.
Okay, I have registered your charismaness. A poorly guided and tracked spreadsheet of what the townspeople of Saltmarsh think of you while you are gone. Or if they think
Joy.
of you at all. There is at least one of you that the townspeople forgot they exist, so.
Fantastic. Keep fingers crossed.
Does Barry get a roll?
I've already rolled for NPCs. And so there is a modifier that happens to Esteban or Kel's score based off of how Barry rolls.
This is the one time I do not want to have a high charisma score.
So Barry's rolls either add to or subtract from Steve's rolls to reflect his campaigning success or lack thereof. So, yes. I can't remember who it was. Somebody, there was this jade archway, large jade archway. Someone out of you had peeked around the archway, and you did see that there seems to be 2 rooms. One to the west looks to be like maybe another grove room. To the east, there seems to be a nursery chambers, and then there are these stairs leading up to a platform that is high above you, so you cannot see what is going on or what is located on top of that platform. So what are you going to do now? Let the decisioning begin.
Follow the monk.
Oh, what?
Look, clearly you're in front.
There was one moment from like the last session that I just remembered that cracked me up, because when you were fighting the succubus, there was one point where Kymir is like, maybe I should go up next to the succubus to distract her, like, and you didn't have any attacks left, so you were just like, I'm going to distract the succubus with my body. That's basically what it came off as, and I felt like I needed to call that out.
That's fair.
Right, said Kymir.
Yep.
I'm
Just
sorry.
a little bop, you know.
Proceed, because that cracked me up last night.
Oh dear. What do you reckon? Do we want to check out the side rooms or do we want to go up the stairs? Because Gary told us that the demons, he just told us to keep going north, didn't
Well, he said something about the nursery that it was the only place where they hadn't searched heavily yet because it was full of his toys. And he did like wink, wink, nudge, nudge. He was like, well, we found this codex page in the dragon. So
Right.
maybe you should look at that.
Yep.
But otherwise, I think he might have asked for you to bring his toys back to him too, didn't he?
Yes, I think
Yeah.
he did.
Yeah, he gave us an additional toll.
What do you reckon then?
Seeing as how Stiiv puts everything in his bag of holding, like books about the Navy.
What's the point of having a bag of holding if you don't stuff it with every single object that's lootable?
That's true. Where is you've got the decoy page, haven't
Yes.
you? You've not got that in the bag of holding, have you?
Actually, it's not specifically an item yet.
Oh, should I make an item for your decoy page?
No, I don't think it matters. I'm just thinking that we might need it as a distraction at some point. So.
Well, but
We can't
even
just
if
use Kymir's body for everything.
Well, you know, it doesn't always work.
well, but okay, but if it's going to be a decoy page, it has to be believable. You don't just, walk around with like a page from the Codex of the Infinite Planes stuck to your chest like a.
No, I thought we could pin it to my horn and go cooey, and then I just pelt it, and we'll see who comes after. No, that was not a plan, and I'm not proposing that. That was a joke.
Like how quickly that.
Just saying.
Like how quickly that disclaimer came.
No, I'm just. Yeah, I do agree it needs to be believable, but I just thought, do we want to check the nursery then, just in case? Check for scrunchy toys. Do we know if Kyvoff has got more than one page? Or did they just say that she had the one?
Now, there's a good question.
Because Ferrin told us that Kyvoff had the one that. Oh, damn it. Did he tell us which plane it took him to?
Are you asking what plane they took the
No, I'm
dragon
just.
to?
Didn't Ferrin tell us what the page did or takes you to that Kyvoff? Because
I don't think you had discerned a particular location that the page was associated to.
Right.
You talked about that the manual, the Codex of Infinite Planes, can have that ability to travel to other planes.
Right. Okay. All right. Cool.
Each page is connected to a different location, but this individual page is not bound into a book, so it has different properties than were it part of a codex.
Oh.
I put a decoy codex page into Steve's inventory.
I saw that. Thank you.
Okay.
This paper is a lie.
You
No, that's what it says.
Yeah. It's got like a little drawing of cake in the margins.
know, I can never click on them and actually see what the description is.
Yeah, I usually get you can only open records that you own.
No, unable to create window with data source. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like. It's like I think maybe like the reference system is more flat file than relational or something.
I feel it's akin
So you
to.
can't inherit looking at things when I would like people to inherit looking at things. It's never worked. I could put a dupe though in the party inventory.
No, it's fine. Honestly, it's fine. It's just it would yeah. I just feel it's like table string error from D.
Anyway, following the monk.
All right,
Hey, I've already forgotten where the monk said the monk wanted to go.
The monk was asking if the party has any preference about whether going north or if we want to investigate the nursery, but I think after that discussion, we're going to go to the nursery. So that's east. Can we get round this way, or is that too close to the wall and I have to go up the middle and then turn right?
That's like the archway itself. So you have to kind of go through that space in the middle.
That way.
Yeah, ostensibly that bit is actually connected to the wall.
Did you see how quickly Shaefira shot up there then?
I was demonstrating.
No, I think you want to go first.
No.
Wait, where is Shaefira?
She's under me. I can't click on myself now.
Okay.
Look, I know
see
we were
her.
talking about decoys in my body, but
I know she's a halfling and she's little, but geez.
Right.
The whole party is her body shield.
Absolutely.
yeah, pocket size. Gonna keep going.
Are you peering around the corner? Is that what you're doing now, Kymir?
Yeah, I'm kind of. I'm not like just striding off over there. I'm trying to like look every which way possible at once to try and see if there's anything moving.
Everybody can roll a perception check. From where you're sitting right now, you think the coast is clear. You don't see any signs of fiends from where you're currently standing.
I'm weak that Kerithlana rolls a nat 1 and gets better than I did.
Quick, send her a picture of the pencil. Right. What's
Also,
that
kind of like
little...
peering around the corner. What's another column?
Oh, okay.
So you're in the doorway now to what you thought looked like a nursery, and what you'd been able to tell before is you see the chamber right now, and now that you're in the doorway, you can see that there's an antechamber off of it. There is a desiccated bloodroot tree withering here. You see on the floor something that looks like a clockwork figure tossed aside. And then there is a creche full of wadded bedding built into the southeast wall.
Okay. I guess I will make my way to the clockwork toy.
And then the antechamber leads off to the east.
Where was the toy?
It's on the floor near the creche.
And you say the creche is the southeast wall.
Yeah, it's
That
that
way, that
round,
little
it's
circular
that
thing.
roundy little circular thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Looks like a
So if I keep going round, am I going to pass the doorway that you mentioned to the antechamber?
Yeah, it's to your east a little bit. Let me unleash a little more of the map. Like this. You see that? Does that look like an opening
Right.
now?
Yeah. Okay. In that case, I'm going to stand there and just see if I can see what I can see to the east and north.
Where are the rest? Is everybody else in the room now?
I have repositioned myself.
So you're almost well, you're the closest to the little clockwork figure on the floor. From your vantage point now, Kymir, you think it's like a lizard, clockwork lizard, on the floor by the creche. And everybody, well, Stiiv and everybody but Kerithlana, because Kerithlana doesn't look like she's in the room yet, can roll a perception check.
At least one of us scored okay.
Stiiv, looking to the east, you see that room seems to be filled with a lot of toys lining the wall. You see things that look like there's like a little tiny desk with a bunch of tubes and vials on top of it. You see things that look like a set of dolls, and you see You want to. It's kind of like you know how like normal kids have rocking horses.
Uh-huh.
Well, this is. It looks like it's a giant on all fours, and it has the same little like wooden curvatures so that it rocks or it's capable of rocking. And you
Uh-huh.
notice that you think you see it move a little, but it might have just been a trick of the eyes.
Okay, Kymir. Check the giant for holes.
I give Stiiv a startled look.
Well, you were the one that were fisting the holes in the bed.
Wasn't I? I was poking my stick in it.
Well, then go poke the giant with your stick.
Okay. I take my quarterstaff out and just gently prod at the giant rocking horse. Do I need to be further in the room to be able to do that?
Yes,
Where?
they're lining the walls of the room to the east, so you would have to like be along
There?
closer.
There?
Okay,
Yes.
we'll watch from here.
So
Okay.
so like if you're standing like adjacent to a square along the wall, then you're within touching range of a toy.
Okay.
So you're like where a rocking horse is, or not a rocking horse, but a rocking giant. And just to the north of that, there's this whole set of dolls. Um,
I just want to
It's
say
like-
that I put a GIF in Discord, and this is how I feel at the moment. I want to check the toys for anything that looks like it could be.
check it for anything that could be it cut out.
Hiding in the toys, yeah.
You're poking the rocking giant, and all of a sudden you hear a little voice. Psst, hey, hey, it's me. It's Dave. I am humanized. You don't see anything.
Dave.
Where are you, Dave?
I am a double agent imp. They don't know that I am your friend, that you have humanized me.
Where are you?
I'm right here talking in your ear.
Okay.
That's not creepy.
Psst. Hey,
What?
hey, you need to look out, because there's more of me. I mean, not me, because I am humanized, but there's other imps in the room. And they probably see you.
I imagine they do, yes.
And at that point, you get smacked from behind.
Stiiv!
Not my fault.
An imp temporarily boops into sight.
Is that our imp? Can we tell?
That is not.
Okay.
Oh, You know what? Let me check something. I've got to get your imp back. How many Daves do I have? Oh, here's Dave. I'm just moving him around because I had to fit. Okay, so the imp with a gold background is your Dave.
Okay.
He's actually invisible now though, for a change.
But
So
why was he hostile?
because I just re-added him.
That's better.
I'm gonna make him neutral so I can hide him, so you know like when he's there and when he's not there. I mean visible, not visible. But he's hovering over one of Kymir's shoulders. This other imp temporarily becomes visible, and it does some touchy things.
Pardon?
It tries to sting you.
Oh, okay.
and it hits. And you have to do. It does 5 points of damage, but you
Okay.
also need to make a con save.
Oh, here we
Oh.
go.
Uh-oh.
Ah.
Which you failed. So you take some additional poison damage. You took 7 points of poison damage. And then he boops out of sight again.
Okay.
Ow.
And then you hear Dave whisper to you, "There's 4 of them. 2 of them are next to you, and I don't know if they see me talking to you. Oops."
Okay, Dave, don't give yourself away.
All right, and then you hear a little roar, and you think he's probably acting like he's attacking you.
Okay.
Is that information relayed to the rest of the...
So Kymir, you know that there are imps, and one of them has bumped you. And everybody can roll initiative now.
That's 2 in a row.
You are surrounded by pens, aren't you?
It can
Oh
only
god,
get
yes.
it can only get better.
Bics and biros everywhere I look.
Shaefira and Stiiv, you see another little impish figure appear, become briefly visible in the doorway, and it flies towards you, Stiiv. You hear it kind of make a sound in your face,
Yeah.
and it tries to bite you. It hits. And you make a con save, please. Did 5 damage initially with its bite, and then it poisons you for additional 7 damage.
Yeah. I use my reaction to cast Hellish Rebuke on him and say, "Bad touch."
Wait, is that a save or is that an attack?
That's a save, but he still takes half damage.
Okay. So he did succeed on his roll, but you do.
How is it damage 0?
Because it's immune to fire.
Oh. Uh-oh.
Yeah. You try to rebuke this imp, and it rebukes you back. It's just like nanny boo boo. Yeah. Whatever. And it poops out of sight again.
Dick. That
I
would have
forgot.
been 19
I forgot to
damage
click somebody.
too.
Shaefira, you're up, but you don't see anything except for Stiiv and Kymir clutching their boo-boos.
Okay.
Now, did Kymir, did you call out anything to the rest of the party?
I did not. The owl.
I will make my way into the room to help look at the top.
Oh, she still would have seen the imp that attacked me, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
You know,
This is true.
But between the sand belay fight and walking over Steve's unconscious body, and then just, he just got attacked, whatever. I'm beginning
Whatever.
to think that Shaefira has an issue with him.
As you walk forward, Shaefira, you collide with something, but you don't see it.
Okay.
But you just bonked into something in front of
Like-
you.
Bumping into a balloon.
Yeah.
Okay. can I? So I can't see what I walked into, or was it head height, knee height,
Yeah, head height.
head height? Okay. So I'll So I say to Kymir, do you know there's something here that I've just walked in?
I'm going to nod and then hold up 4 fingers.
And then you hear this this voice gibbering what you think is infernal in your ear.
Shaefira does.
Yes, Shaefira does.
Is
And then
that
there's a
Dave?
little cough sound, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot you aren't smart like Kymir.
Thanks,
I am
Dave.
Dave. I am humanized, and there is an imp in front of you, and it's not me. I am on your shoulder, talking to you. But you should stab something right in front of your face.
Stab something right in front of my face.
Yes,
Okay.
before it stabs
Not
you."
me.
Well, yeah. Okay. Okay. Do you know? So it's right in front of my face, is it, Dave?
Yes, it is. Why are you not stabbing it?
Because I can't see it, so I don't. You know.
Well, that's a really limited view of the world.
I can blindly wave my dagger around if you like, or
No, just stab it in
throw
front of your face.
something.
He won't know what's coming because he's looking at you, Kymir.
Okay. Well, shall I just wave my dagger around and see what happens?
Yeah, you can just do an attack roll in the chat.
Hmm.
I was going to say attacks against invisible have disadvantage, but I don't think that matters anymore.
No.
So you roll a 10, but that does miss. And so you feel like, even though the imp is telling you that there is something right in front of your face, this isn't how you're used to working. And you manage to aim a little bit too high.
Too high. Wow, that's saying something for a halfling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right then.
You're like, surely it couldn't be right in front of my face. At this point, Dave appears. And he's like, "Look, I think you guys are in big trouble because you use your eyeballs. I am Dave, and I am humanized, and I will help now. But I have to see if I'm stealthy." Or does he? So Dave tries to be a double agent and sneak up on the imp that was right next to you, Shaefira. But that imp notices. And you hear like another little, like a screech of infernal voices. And Kymir, you can hear a new little imp voice say, "What are you doing?" And then you hear Dave go, "Uh-oh."
Oh, no.
So Dave tries to stab this invisible imp, and he misses.
Oh, Dave.
I need to start writing with pencils. But it's Kymir. Kymir, it's your turn. And Dave's like, "Oops, I missed." But Kymir, there's the one in front of Shaefira, and then there's the one to your north.
Okay. I'm going to attack the one that Dave says is to the north. Attack roll. Where's my attack rolls?
You hit with a 13.
Ooh. Can I tip my second hand attack as well while I'm at?
Yes.
Ooh.
Woo. So that's 2 hits with both fists. Kablam, kablam. How much damage do you do? So with your main hand, you do 5 damage. And your offhand, you do 8. And
3.
you hear the... Oh, you do 3, but you do a total of 8 damage. I'm sorry. And you hear this like... "Ah!" And the imp that you were fighting seems to be startled. And he momentarily blips into view. So Shaefira and Stiiv can see it. And then catches himself and blips out of sight again.
Okay.
He did appear bloodied for the brief period that you saw him.
That's
Like,
me done.
your punches messed him up quite a bit.
Good. And the moral of the tale is Kymir hits better when he can't see what he's going for.
He's using his Jedi senses.
That's it. Exactly.
You hear a little flutter of wings, and you feel a brush of air by your horns, Kymir.
Uh-huh.
You feel like something was trying to bite you, but it managed to just brush by your face, and it missed.
Got distracted by the horns, didn't it?
Yeah, it totally. It bit horn, ate horn. You hear like some fluttering of wings behind you to the northwest. And then, Shaefira, you hear some little grunting sounds coming in front of your face. And there is a little flutter of wings against your cheek. And something stings you, doing 5 points of damage. Make a Constitution save.
Ooh.
Everybody's rolling 8s on their Constitution save. That's crazy. That's like the third 8. You take poison damage. 11 points.
Ouch.
And for a brief second, you see a little figure right next to you, drooling. And then it blinks out of sight. And as it like had temporarily appeared, you saw Dave temporarily appear, and he's like pointing fingers at it. That's where it is. Stiiv.
Yes.
Something smells like rotten eggs.
Not me this time.
You notice there's the little crush you're standing next to. It has some really nice bedding.
Yeah, it does. But
Those dragons sure have fancy beds.
they do have great beds. It's really nice bedding. I might stuff them in the bag of holding. Except Gary's still here, so that'd be kind of rude. Instead, I'm going to use my action and cast mirror image on myself.
Okay, there are now 2 of you.
Yeah, 4 actually.
4 of you.
Yeah,
That's a lot
3
of Stiiv.
That's a lot of Stiivs. Yeah, 3 illusory duplicates of yourself appear in my place.
Now, since I don't happen to have a Stiiv token nearby, you could just put Toby's up where your extra Stiivs are.
Oh, well, they're in the same space as I am.
Okay.
Basically, what happens is anytime someone tries to attack me, I get to roll a d20 duplicates, takes the attack instead.
Okay.
So, and what I have to roll is on the d20 is lower dependent upon the number of duplicates, and if you have a 6 or higher, if I have 2 duplicates, I must roll an 8 or duplicate, I must roll an 11 or higher.
Okay.
So, it's a very nice defensive spell.
Especially when there are invisible things trying to eat your face.
Yeah, that I can't see, and I don't like that. And then we're going to use our bonus action to summon Toby and have him flail about in the space in front of me blindly.
Okay.
So
Toby is flailing about. Oh, tell me something about Toby. Do you have any kind of like psychic connection with Toby? Like, can you communicate with Toby? You can command Toby to do stuff.
I can command Toby to do stuff.
Does Toby ever answer you?
No, it's
Okay.
not. It's not sentient. It's just like a spiritual weapon. We just nicknamed him because.
Do a perception check.
He was sad. Perception check. 1 second. I perceive nothing.
Yeah, you don't perceive anything. Okay, so you have Toby.
Now, can Toby make an attack in the space in front
Toby
of me?
can flail because that was where the last attack in front of you happened.
No.
And Toby fails to fondle.
And I know there's something in front of me, so I'm not moving because I don't want to get bit in the butt.
Okay, Kerithlana.
Somebody seems to be running around going, ow!
Roll a perception check as well.
That's on the other tab, isn't it? Ha!
Alas, you do not perceive anything.
It's better than a 1 though.
Well, you do know that Stiiv seems to be attacking something standing in front of him. You see Kymir and Shaefira fighting a whole bunch of stuff. And you see in the distance, oh, hey, there's Dave, the imp that you humanized. And he's like pointing like he's the hostess on a game show at basically empty air.
Okay. We'll try tolling the dead at the space of empty air in front of him. Bum, 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 bum. A wisdom save by the imp.
Let me just check and see if there are any modifiers. Does a 14 save?
14 does, yes, because the DC is 13.
Okay. So the imp had a 14. Does anything
Okay,
happen
that's fine.
on a save?
No, it's a suckle save. So.
Okay.
But you hear. And that is me done.
Are we back at the top of the order?
I think
We are.
so.
Should be. Yeah.
So the imp in front of Steve's face temporarily reappears. Kerithlana, you see it now. Ah! And it tries to bite Steve.
Wait. Oh, hold on.
Do your roll to see.
Ah, no, he gets me.
So he stings you. 6 damage. Do a con save. You save. So having already your body, which is I don't know. Do you try to keep your body as inhospitable of an organism as possible to outside influences?
Is that a weird way of saying, do I bathe?
Are you toxic?
If it doesn't
Are you
bathe, I'm
toxic?
here.
You're like you've been stung once. You felt that poison. You know, at this point, you managed to shake it off. You're like, hey, I've been there. I've done that toxin. It's no biggie.
We've been on this hangover ride.
Yeah. So that's that imp, and it temporarily, you've seen it. It's appeared momentarily, and now it's disappeared again.
I don't like these guys.
Shaefira. You hear Dave telling you, it's still right in front of your face. It's laughing at you.
Okay, so I'll try a little bit lower. Oh shit! Sorry, I should have done disadvantage. Wait a minute.
No, you're fine. You stab it quite stabberly. Like this time,
Stabberlicious,
you've
baby.
learned from your mistakes, and it had temporarily become visible. And to the imp's folly is that it did not move because now you knew where it was. So you just like stab it with your knife like it's a pincushion. And so roll your damage. You also get sneak attack because of Kymir being in a flanking position. And you stab that imp to pieces. Suddenly it becomes visible, and its little body is just hanging limply from your dagger. And Dave is like, oh boy! You really murderized him! He was not humanized. Ha ha ha!
Sorted.
Dave tells you, the other imps, there's one to the north of Kymir, and then the other ones are behind you. Like there's one in front of Toby, to the west, and then there's one just north of that one. You should go stab them.
So
I
helpful.
will on my next go. I think, yeah, end of turn, Dave's turn.
Dave flies. You see Dave fly across the room. And he pokes, you feel a poking on your shoulder, Stiiv, and you hear Dave say, Hi, I'm Dave. I'm humanized. Remember me?
Yeah.
Do you know where the deeps are?
I know where one is.
Yeah. There's one in front of your face, and then there's one just like, kind of flanking you. It's probably gonna eat you too.
Yeah. I mean, one of them is still basically stuck to my face with its stinger.
Oh, he probably can hear me telling you all about his location. Oh
Yeah,
dear.
probably.
Maybe I should try to punch him before he punches me.
That might be a smart idea.
So Dave tries to punch an imp. And he hits. And he takes a bite out of that imp. And he does 7 damage. His bite is actually partially resisted. Imps are immune to themselves. I'm doing a con save for the imp. Who did not save. So that imp maybe takes some poison damage. Oh, the imp does not take any poison damage.
Boo.
But you
Imps are
see a
immune
little
to
form.
themselves.
Yeah, imps are immune to themselves. Apparently, yeah, there's a lot of this in like, imp high school. A lot of this backbiting going on. So they had to build up an immunity to themselves. So temporarily, you see another little imp figure appear out of shock at Dave's bite, and you hear a little voice go, "Eek!" Like, "Hey, what's going on? What's the big idea?" But it's infernal, so you don't actually understand it, I don't think. And then it disappears again. Kymir, you're up.
I'm going to flail at the air in front of my face again.
And you managed to hit. Same location it was before. You punch.
Okay. Second punch.
Second punch doesn't. Your offhand does not land, just your main.
Okay. There we go.
And you do 3 more damage. At your punch, the imp temporarily appears. It still looks extremely bloodied. Its wings, one of them looks to be visibly ripped, and it's just barely staying aloft. And at this point, it's kind of batting its wings in a frenzy, and it's lost the ability to be invisible. So you see this like haggard, bloodied imp flying next to you, looking in very bad shape.
Good.
It disengages, and it tries to fly away from you.
I can't take an attack if he disengages.
Right.
Well, boo.
So that's its turn. There's an imp that's really mad at Dave for trying to bite it and actually biting him. So he's going to try to bite Dave back. He hits. And he does 2 damage to Dave. And you hear Dave go, "Ow! Humanization hurts!" Stiiv. Oh, when it temporarily made itself visible, when it was biting Dave. So that's where it was. Stiiv, it's your turn.
Okay, well, first thing we're gonna do with the bonus action is have Toby try and fondle the air in front of me again.
Okay.
Hey. Potentially successful fondling.
It's a successful fondling. Toby does 8 damage of fondling to that imp. It's lightning damage.
Shocking.
And that imp takes all of that damage.
And then, well, the imp is like, gah! Is he visible?
Just, gah!
Good, now that I can see him, I'll reach out and poke him with shocking grasp.
Okay. You hit him, you grasp him.
Bug zapper!
And you squish that imp.
That's what you get for stinging me
It
repeatedly.
is dead and squished.
And I'm spent. Although I should probably move there so I'm aligned with the grid.
Kerithlana. You hear Dave whisper at you. Hey, I guess you can see that one imp, huh?
Totally can.
There's another one right next to him, too. You know, just to the east of me. Just in case that matters.
No, I'm going to stick with my plan. Which is... It made it save again. Can I slap Stiiv with a healing as well?
Healing word.
Good point, well made. I'll leave it for the time being. I'm going to spend this. If I'm going to spend the spell slot, I might as well get the better spell out of it.
We're probably going to need a short rest after.
Shaefira, you are up. You don't hear any wings fluttering around you, and Dave's voice has been silent in your ear. But you do see that there's a little, that like very haggard-looking imp to your northwest.
Yeah, so I'll see if I can finish that one off by shooting an arrow at it. No.
Your arrow flies wide, and it tinks off of the jade wall.
I'll just move slightly. There we go.
Dave punches just to the east of him. Well, he doesn't punch. He tries to bite something. He hits it. Oh, I've rolled an attack against of damage. How did I do that? He does 3 damage to it, and you temporarily see... And you hear Dave go, ha-ha! Like he's been hanging out with goblins. Kymir.
So there's the one that's visible that I smashed around a bit, and then Dave said there was one to the east of him. Did I hear him say that?
Yeah, and if you were looking that way, then you would have temporarily seen an imp appear just south of the visible one.
Okay. Then I'm going to move, and I'm going to attack the invisible. Okay, and I'll go with my second attack. Just the first one?
Just the first one.
Okay. And that is me done. I shall stay put.
The visible imp is trying to get past. Well, it seems like it's kind of caged in. So it tries to bite at Dave because Dave is in its way. It does a natty 20 on Dave's face.
No, not Dave.
And Dave takes 5 damage. How is Dave looking? Dave, he's still in good shape. He's not bloodied yet. He's like, ow! Humanization hurts! But he holds fast.
Be strong, little buddy.
The last little invisible imp temporarily becomes visible, and it tries to get Kymir, who has suddenly appeared. And it hits with a 15. So make a con save, Kymir. You take 7 damage. But you make a constitution save, so you don't take any poison damage. Like Stiiv, your first experience with this poison has toughened your system up a little bit. Stiiv, at this point, the crushed bedding next to you stirs. And you hear... Well, a little form appears. It's like this grizzled bird-like creature, quite gnarly. A gnarly baby bird.
Real glad I didn't steal the bedding now.
It lets out a shriek.
As a free action, I would like to shriek back at it, but it's not in a scary way.
I can totally envisage that as well.
Yeah!
All right, so Kerithlana and Stiiv, you are within range of this shriek. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Ooh.
You both saved. That's awesome for you. So it shrieks, and then it tries to slash at Stiiv with its talons.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, it doesn't slash. It tries to slash at Stiiv, but it manages to hit one of your mirror images.
One of my mirror images, and I only have 2 duplicates.
Stiiv, it is now your turn.
But not on my turn. Okay. Yeah, so that's scary. I don't like that. Is imp number 4 still visible?
Actually, that imp is not visible. I got distracted.
Okay.
You did see it for a time, but it blinked out of sight.
So we will move Toby as a bonus action a little bit closer to me, and Toby actually has a 10-foot reach, which is a really cool thing. So he can smack at gnarly baby bird, which definitely has Steve's attention than the imps.
Toby, with a 24, manages to fondle the gnarly baby bird successfully.
Yeah, okay, it doesn't like cold damage.
Yeah, it shakes off that cold a little bit because this baby bird is gnarly.
Gnarly, I don't like that, and it's too close to anything else. So we'll just reach out and touch Faith with the shocking grasp.
You what? You grasp.
What was that?
Words are
It
hard.
doesn't like lightning damage either.
And
like
it shakes
bird.
off. It's like you try to like zoink it just like you did with the imp earlier, but this gnarly baby bird is made of sterner stuff than that imp, and it's kind of like
I don't like this
just
bird.
a crying and happy gnarly baby bird.
I don't like this bird.
You woke it up.
Yeah, but he didn't have to be mean.
You woke up that baby bird angry. Kerithlana, it is your turn. This gnarly baby bird has suddenly erupted out of what was formerly a peaceful looking dragon crush. and it's trying to like zoink Stiiv, and it let out this horrible shriek.
Yeah. I'm Asian. So I'm going to move here, and then I'm going to Cure Wounds on Kymir, because he's looking pretty roughed up. And I'll deal with the baby bird afterwards. You're welcome. Let's see what we get. 7 points. So not the best, but not the worst either.
Better than 1.
So you see some of his lacerations seem to fuse close. And top of the round, Shaefira! You only hear the sounds of screeching. You don't see anything. But you're like, whoa, that doesn't sound normal.
What, Steve screech or the bird screech?
Well, both of them.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll just take a shot at the imp, see if I can finish that one off. I can see Kerithlana's near Stiiv, so I shan't worry about him too much. Ah, miss again.
You miss that imp that's visible.
Yeah. I'm going to stay here. I don't want to know what's going on around the corner.
Okay. So that means Dave's up. And he tries to bite to the east of him. But he misses. Kymir, you hear something that isn't Dave snortle and go na 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 na. And you're up. But you heard the sound coming directly west of you.
I'm going to try and attack him again. The invisible one.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. That was a hit. Your
Okay.
main hand hit, your offhand missed.
Cool. Okay. Right.
You do 4 damage. And at this point, that imp boops into sight. You hear a little like screech from it, and it looks very ragged. Torn wings, big, like a rising bump on its head, and like a busted up chest. And it no longer seems to be able to go invisible because it's too roughed up.
I'm just going to say to it in Infernal, welcome, enjoy the pummel.
And you've also
Pummeling.
noticed that there is a gnarly baby bird trying to eat Stiiv.
Yeah, I'm kind of busy with the imps.
Next round's problem, future round problem.
And I will leave it there.
One of these imps is still trying to get past Dave, and it tries to bite him. It hits. It does 3 damage to Dave. Dave now looks bloodied. Imp 4, it tries to bite Kerithlana. There's something about people being... Oh, Toby's there. That's why I can't. Okay. I'm sorry about moving Toby temporarily. Toby's kind of like what? Waving in and out around Kerithlana's legs while he waits for his turn. Oh, whoops. I attacked. Let's say I rolled a nat 1, but I accidentally rolled it on the imp instead of Kerithlana. But that's a miss, regardless. So it tries to bite Kerithlana, but misses.
Distracted by the tentacle between the legs, clearly.
Yeah, clearly. Gnarly baby bird is still gnarly. Really unhappy. Really unhappy that Stiiv has disturbed its nest. So it emits a 10-foot cloud of the spore-like substance.
Spores?
Spores! like out of its butt or something. It is a baby.
Throw a bloody pillow over it, Stiiv.
And Kerithlana and Stiiv have to make Constitution saving throws.
Woo!
So Stiiv saves, but Kerithlana, you're like, ugh. You are poisoned. And as part of that poison, I didn't set it up
What happened
correctly.
after poisoned? All right.
I'll apply the poison status to you, but you take 2 damage from the poison.
Okay. Oh, can I react to that?
Yes, you can.
Can I react to that?
So you can. I don't know if it technically
I've not been
counts
hit
as
with it.
as an attack.
Does that count as a
Let's
hit
say
or
it's
not?
it's not a melee attack kind of thing. It's more of an effect. I don't know.
I believe it's when you damage.
When you take damage, go ahead. Go ahead and react.
It specifies hit you with an attack. Probably not, because that was the result of a failed save rather than something that was rolled to hit me. Does that make sense?
It would be how I interpret it. It wasn't an attack, it was
okay.
an effect.
Yeah.
Okay, I have nothing in response to that other than to go very, very slightly.
Okay. Stiiv, you just had a bird fart at you. These spores, you shook it off. You're like, hey, this isn't my first rodeo. You've smelt worse than that. You've dealt worse than that, actually. So,
Oh. Oh.
That probably wasn't fair.
Too much fish.
Yeah, it's like, too much fish and everything just starts smelling fishy.
Well,
all the omega-3 oils.
Yeah, I don't have a whole lot that I can do against this guy because he's resistant to everything that I have, so we're just gonna keep trying. All right, bonus action, Toby.
Toby fondles that baby bird with a 17. But he does 2 damage.
And then we'll electrically fondle him.
You fondle him.
It sounds
with
like a Daft Punk album.
Electric fondle.
Electric fondling.
And he takes the gnarly baby bird takes 2 more damage. So you've done 4 damage to the gnarly baby bird. He's so mad.
And that's all I got.
Like he well got mad. Now he's just like, you think maybe, of course his skin's like kind of purple and blotchy to begin with, but now it's getting like this maroon shade because he's so mad.
Just repeatedly tasing him.
Yeah. Kerithlana, you don't feel so good?
No. I'm sure it'll be fine. Okay, I am not going to hit Kymir, I hope. I am going to use my silver flail.
I also just remembered you get to roll a save.
Ooh!
Because it's your turn, and I usually let people do it at the top rather than the bottom of their turn. You saved, though, and you've shaken off the effects of your poison now that you've had a moment to collect yourself.
Okie dokie. Right. Yeah, bludgeoning.
So you hit with a 23.
And
you smoosh that imp.
Okay.
Splat.
I'm going to step here as well.
Toby winding around your legs again.
Threaten that bird. Friends.
She just really likes sharing spaces with that tentacle.
It's tentacular. I miss my octopus.
Shaefira, top of the order. You still hear something screaming, but you can't see it. You see the Kerithlana dispatched one of the imps, but there's your nemesis that you managed to miss twice with an arrow is still hanging in there, flopping about in the air.
Okay, I will try and shoot him again. Yay!
With a 23, you hit it. And unerringly, third time's the charm, you shoot that arrow straight through its little head, and the force of your arrow is so powerful that it sinks into the jade stone behind the imp and just basically lances the imp's head to the wall.
Lovely.
You're
His
not
little
getting
body
that arrow
hangs
back.
limp. And you hear Dave
It
exclaim,
lasted that many rounds with 1 hit point.
and Dave exclaims, "That's hardcore!"
Right. Okay. I'll move closer.
Dave flops his wings, and you hear him fly up behind you, Stiiv. And he's like, "Uh-oh, you woke up the baby V-Rock. That's not good."
Did he just say Baby Vrock?
"Yeah, that's what I said. Hi, I'm Dave."
I do love Dave.
I don't like Vrocks.
Baby bird's gnarly. I forgot to tell you that he was sleeping in here. Sorry.
Thanks.
He's telling me right now that he's really mad at you.
Yeah.
He doesn't like your face. He really wants to eat it, actually. You should be careful. And Dave just hovers behind you, Stiiv. He's kind of like using you as a meat shield because he doesn't want to tangle with the V-Rock. Kymir, you're up.
I don't want to tangle with the Vrock either.
Can I get to the rock?
You could. Dave is tiny. You could step through his space. No problem.
I step through Dave's face. And I...
Space.
Oh, space. All right. Sorry, Dave.
Dave shifts from hanging out by Stiiv, and as you move past, he grabs onto your horns, and now he's sitting on your head in between them, and he's like, "Go get him!" So with your main hand, you punch the baby V-Rock.
All right, offhand.
It's a Vrock, but I like saying V-Rock because, I don't know, that sounds cooler to me.
All right, I missed with my offhand.
It's not Freedom Rock, it's V-Rock.
Right.
So it does resist your bludgeoning damage, but you do 2 points with your main hand.
I think that's all I can do. Yeah.
Baby V-Rock, so mad. Just need to roll something.
Trying to determine who he hits at.
It's going to strike with its beak. It's going to try to like beak at Stiiv with its beak.
No, it's not.
Oh, he misses. He hits one of your mirror images instead. Is that correct?
Yep.
And then follow up, it tries to scratch at you. So roll another
hold on.
d20.
I gotta see what it is with 3 or with 1 left. Okay. I gotta get an 11 or higher. Nope.
Oh, you said it out loud.
I know.
His talons land this time on the real you. Or do they? Yeah, they do.
Will the real Steve Shady please get stabbed?
And those talons of the baby V-Rock slash across your chest and do 7 damage.
Yep, that's gonna hurt.
Wah! Stiiv, it's your turn though.
And well, he's resistant to everything, so we're just gonna do the something completely shocking and do the exact same thing we did last turn, which is Toby.
Toby totally fondles the baby V-Rock.
Smack.
Does 2 more damage.
And then finger taser.
And you grasp it. A little zap. And you do 3 damage this time.
And that's it.
Okay. Kerithlana. It's a really mean baby bird.
It's picking on my friends. I'm going to wonk it. Because that's how I roll. Ah, there's number 4.
You
You
have an
wonk.
uncanny ability to one.
You manage to wonk Toby,
Oh man,
but Toby
feel
shakes
terrible
it
now.
off. He's he shakes it off. He's a little bit spectral, so it's not a big deal.
A little bit special, did you say?
Spectral.
Oh, sorry.
Just a little bit special.
He's special too. He's the specialist tentacle. Shaefira, top of the order. You see a gnarly baby bird. And it's basically got the rest of your friends and Dave clustered around it. And it's just flapping its wings in tiny baby flurry. And everybody looks stressed, including the gnarly baby bird.
Right then. So, are people blocking my view of said gnarly bird, or can I shoot an arrow at it?
I would say from where you're standing now, the wall is partially covering the scene. So you would need to like step over, but you can shoot. I treat it like you can shoot around, given your expertise.
I can shoot around corners.
Because it's a 5-foot square. So I think you can manage to not shoot your friends with an arrow, assuming you don't roll in that one, but you're a halfling, so that's not really going to happen unless you do it twice in a row.
Okay. Right. Okay. Right. I'll shoot and I've moved slightly, so I'll shoot an arrow from there.
So now you have a pretty, you don't have, there's no cover other than your friends, and they see you aiming, so they can kind of lean out of the way.
Duck.
But a 12 does miss the gnarly baby bird.
Right. Okay.
Maybe not be in fart range.
Ooh. Can I move back? I've only moved a little bit.
You certainly can. You still have movement left.
Thank you, Stiiv, for reminding me
Go a
not to
bit
be in the
further.
fart range. A bit further.
They're like, it was a 10-foot fart.
Right, now I'm done.
Babies' diapers are toxic. Dave hears this conversation about staying out of the range of baby farts, and he's like, oh, that's like a really good plan. So he hops off of Kymir's horns, and he flies back, and he's like, yo, get him! Woohoo! And Kymir, you're up.
I will attack the gnarly bird. Did that? Oh, that was delayed.
It was delayed, but your main hand hits it with a 17.
And offhand.
Your
Oh, you
offhand
fucker.
misses.
Well, at least I'm being consistent.
You do
Okay.
3 damage with your main hand.
And I'm going to back up.
It's
Oh no, if I back
Well,
if I
don't
back
you
up,
have
will it
a...
attack me?
If you spend a key point for Step of the Wind,
But
you
that's a
can-
bonus
Yeah.
action, I think, and you've already used bonus as your offhand punch.
Yeah, exactly. So I will not do anything.
Is it though?
No, it is. It's a bonus action. It says.
Oh, okay.
Rolling a recharge. Oh! just as people were worried, the baby V-Rock lets out another fart. A cloud of spores erupts from the hindquarters of this gnarly baby bird. And Kymir, Stiiv, and Kerithlana need to roll con saves.
Am I the only one sitting here going, baby rock, doo 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 doo?
Yes.
So Stiiv and Kymir, you are both affected. Kerithlana, though, she's still feeling the benefits of having already shook this poison off once. Oh, cool! It's applying an effect to you guys. I can't roll the damage directly. I should have set this up slightly differently. But Stiiv, you take 1 point of poison damage. And Kymir, you take 2. I applied it to you, Kymir.
Thank
Stiiv,
you,
have you already
because I
updated
usually
yours?
bugger it up.
You want me to do mine?
I'll do yours.
Okay.
And at the top of the round, remember, you can do a save to see if you shake off the poison, or otherwise you take more damage. And that is Baby V-Rock's angry turn. Stiiv, roll a save. All right, you take another 4 points of poison damage.
Oof.
All right, I've updated you. But continue with your turn.
Don't really have a whole lot of choices here, but what I can do, we're actually going to use our action to disengage and run away, since there's other people tying the baby rock up.
And your little mirror image goes with you.
Yep. And that was my action, so I can't do that. But Toby can still tentacle the baby rock.
A critical fondle.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that means it does normal damage.
So 4 damage.
Yeah. And that's my turn.
And you see that this gnarly baby V-Rock, looks like it's quite bloodied at this point. Like not just an angry baby bird, but a unhealthy angry baby bird. Kerithlana, you're up.
Okay, I am going to wonk it.
With a 16, you have wonked it.
And lo, it has been smited.
And wait, okay, never mind.
Yeah,
So
I'm not actually smiting
it. You take
it.
5 damage.
And I'm going to healing word on Stiiv. I can find healing word. Because I can do that as a bonus. Blah. Here you go.
6 Healy.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So top of the round, Shaefira. You see that Stiiv is trying to run away a little bit. You saw like the fringes of this horrible cloud of really nasty looking spores kind of poof out in the doorway, and then the cloud subsided. And you're like, that doesn't look good.
Yeah, no, I'm going to totally avoid that.
But from where you're standing right now, you cannot see the angry baby bird, but now you can.
No, I can. And I will probably continue my dreadful streak of missing. But there we go. Yes. Oh, it's a hit.
A 13, your arrow hits the baby V-Rock. You do 5 damage.
Sneak attack.
Oh yeah, and sneak attack damage too.
Which is untight, so it won't be resisted max damage.
And with that arrow, Shaefira drops the baby V-Rock. And the crying is silenced.
Yay.
You hear Dave let out a long whew. That
You
was
and
a
me both,
lot of
Dave.
trouble.
Yeah, well, did we get all the imps?
Oh yeah. Well, you didn't get me. I'm Dave.
Oh,
I'm
no.
humanized.
We wouldn't want to do anything to you, Dave.
That's nice.
Okay, if you're happy to take 10 minutes, I'll do prayer of healing.
More than happy.
I was just gonna say maybe we should take an hour and have a short rest so that we can use some hit dice and save our spell slots.
I'm going to
Okay, fair
quickly
enough.
run round and pick up my arrows as well.
Okay. I think this would also be a good time to take a little adventurous break.
Sure.
Let's reconvene after 2 minutes and hand washing. I has returned.
Hello.
Fresh water.
Is there something I'm supposed to do the hit points on a
You-
short rest, or do you do?
You can drag
Well,
from your character sheet the hit dice on the front page. You can drag those to your character to roll the healiness.
Oh, right, yeah.
there's also effects that refresh on a short rest if you want to do the party taking short rest thing, like key points and spell slots.
Yeah.
I need to start making notes about this so I don't keep having to ask silly questions.
Yay!
Awesome.
So you've had a chance to kind of rest. Oh, is everybody here?
It didn't
Yes.
work.
Just drag it into drag it into chat.
Drag it into chat. Okay. Oh, fantastic! Yeah.
And you can use as many as you like.
Can you really? I thought you could only do one.
No, you can do as many. Only catch to it. This is why hit dice are better than spell slots. When you the only catch is you only recover half of them on a long rest. So, like I used 3 out of a total of 4. So when we take a long rest, I'll get 2 back, and still be down 1, and it'll be 2 days later before I get.
Oh, I see. So I've got 4 of them available. Got you.
Yeah, you like get one every time you get a level.
I think I'll leave it there.
So I have 1 left, but I only have 4 hit points down, so that's okay. I can eat some bacon if I really need to.
Isn't that what bacon is for?
That's for emergency use.
Emergency bacon.
It's for shoving into people's unconscious bodies and making them chew it.
Absolutely. Or chewing it for them.
Hey!
Oh, gross. We're not birds.
That was like the baby bird. Birds on the brain.
Oh, are we done with this ongoing poison fart damage?
Oh yeah, because you murdered it before you had another round.
While we're
Yeah.
healing?
Let's just see. Once you're out of combat, you have had enough chance to escape, to recover from being poisoned. Is everyone back now?
I am.
I am.
I think we're just with. Oh no, she's there.
So that's everybody. While you've taken some time to rest and gather yourselves after those unfortunate winged creature encounters, Stiiv, you've confirmed there was a clockwork lizard on the floor that you just guessed that the Vrog maybe had tossed it out of the bed where it was sleeping.
And that was very rude of it.
The bedding is still there in the creche. It looks like a really fine quality of fabric, blue and scarlet. It's embroidered in gold and silver, and it seems to have a chainmail lining. In the room that was adjacent where Kymir first discovered Dave and the other imps, there are multiple toys. We've already described the rocking giant horse. There's a junior alchemist set. There's a toy drum. Looks like a metallic hoop. There's a doll set that has one rag doll. Looks kind of like a gnarled witch holding a quarterstaff in its opposable grip. The doll is about 2 feet high. And the quarterstaff is to scale. It has bladed ends. There's also a small wooden dollhouse.
Oh,
A
Freudian
small
slip.
wooden dollhouse on stilts. And there's a wagon made of gilded wood. And instead of canvas, its cover is a patchwork of colorful fabric. The wagon is also hitched to another clockwork reptile. This one resembles a wyrmling. There's also, well, I think that's it. I think those are all the toys you see.
Should we just tell Gary that all his toys are, fine?
Everybody do do insight and arcana checks.
Both?
Yeah, both.
Hmm.
Shaefira's playing on the dragon. Giant.
She's riding the dragon, but because she's riding the rocking giant, it draws Kymir and Stiiv's attention to the giant, and it occurs to you that the giant has a belt on, and it looks like that's actually of a scale where that's a human-sized belt, and it looks really realistic. You've also picked out that you've seen pictures in books and you've heard stories about a culture from a land far away. And the wagon with its patchwork cover and all of the toys, as you examine them, you see they have little labels on them.
Made in China.
Oh, you beat me to it.
And all of the toys, they say, made by Blinksy Toys is no fun, is no Blinksy on their tags. You conclude that these seem to be Barovian style toys. It's a place you've only heard of. But you notice that they're of fine craft detail, and inside the wagon even, there's another doll, and it's another kind of witch-like old woman figure, but she's wearing a turban, and she has in her opposable grip a deck of cards. With her, there's also another little clockwork figure, that of a small child in a jester outfit. Looking at the toys, you think that it's possible that these things are removable.
The items, yeah.
The items are removable from the
Cards and
opposable
stuff.
grip. And do a perception check. Or investigation if that's better.
No, I'll stick with what I had.
What toys are you looking at the most, Kymir and Kerithlana?
I would like to investigate the belt on the giant.
You realize you're able to unbuckle the belt and take it off the giant.
Okay, and is it just a belt, or is there any pouches on it?
You also find in a pouch hanging from the belt, a scrap of green parchment.
I would like to read the parchment, please.
I am putting these 2 items into the party inventory. Kerithlana, what are you studying?
The doll in the turban.
The doll in the turban has a deck of cards in her hand. She's kerchiefed. She's about the size of a human toddler. She has the same kind of tag saying "Made by Blinksy Toys. Is no fun, is no Blinksy." You can turn her head around 360 degrees, and you find that you can take the deck of cards out of her hand. And you also find in the wagon with her, there's also that little mechanical construct, little clockwork boy dressed as in a little jester outfit as well. It also has the little label, but there's a key to wind the toy mounted in its back. The doll in the turban doesn't have any keys. It's more like a rag doll. But you also find a scrap of yellow parchment in the wagon with the turbaned doll.
Okay.
We'll move that into the party sheet once I figure out which way my brain is. Do you look at the deck that she's holding? I'm sorry, I didn't hear it cut out.
Oh, sorry. Yes. If it's a normal pack of playing cards, then it's not particularly interesting. But if it's something a bit weird, then Kerithlana will look a bit closer.
So you fan out the cards, or do you like pull cards out of the deck, or what do you do?
Fan them out, I guess.
They all seem to be, they have pictures on them as you like fan them out. And at the moment, they're still, they're the size of like a toddler's grip. So they're not the size of normal playing cards at the moment. But you fan them out, and they all have etched pictures on them with names. And Stiiv, who rolled a 21 on his Arcana check earlier, looks over your shoulder and he's like, "Oh, that's a Taroka deck. It's a little Taroka deck."
You're for like telling your fortune and stuff. And stealing your soul, but mostly telling fortunes.
Your soul's already taken, isn't it?
Not
Have a look.
yet.
The cards are all fanned on the little felted table inside this toy wagon. And you see cards facing up on you, things like Avenger and Artifact.
I lost you after Avenger.
There's a fancy card that looks like a marionette, and others that look like an enchanter. There's a necromancer. All sorts of pretty pictures. But the cards are just lying there spread out on the table.
Okay, we'll just, what the heck, we'll pick one up. With a mage hand. I should have said that first.
You pick one up with a mage hand.
Uh-huh.
And it has a picture of a conjure on it. The card is still small. Nothing happens.
Okay, we'll put that back down. Carry on. I would rather not have my soul sucked out by a card.
Sorry, can I just ask where the yellow parchment came from? Was that in the belt pouch
That
as
was
well?
in there was green parchment that was in the pouch,
Yeah.
and the yellow parchment was something Kerithlana found rifling through the wagon.
Okay, cool.
Well, everyone's really keen on poking around. May I just kind of remind everyone that we're basically looting a kid's bedroom while the kid's in the other room, and oh, by the way, it's a kid dragon. Pretty angry mom. Maybe take the kid's toys.
Well, it's just these
Told us
poems
to pick
just
up
seem
his
odd.
stuff.
He did. That's true.
He did
We've got
ask
an
you to pick
excuse.
up his stuff, and he did seem surprised that the codex page was hidden in his plushy dragon toy. So he did communicate to you that he doesn't know if there's anything important with his toys. So you might have to confirm with him.
Should we just take it all, stick it in the bag of holding, and then go and talk to Gary about what's what? Be less potentially infested with imps.
Sure.
Yeah, he could clarify for you about what's his toy, what's he doesn't recognize. Like maybe it's something that his parents put there, like they put a page in his dragon plushie.
Does anyone think the yellow parchment poem could mean like the paper door could be the codex page?
I mean, yeah, a piece of parchment being a codex page, sure, but like the belt is not a clockwork. Or belt isn't the codex page, and
No, it's just
I'm just saying there
odd.
are consequences to looting people's stuff.
Kymir, as you fiddle with the belt, it seems to be made of a fine mesh, and it seems to be it's not like any metal you've seen before. That you would almost wonder if it's made of metal at all. It's not made of leather either, and there does seem to be something a little bit magical about it.
Okay. I won't be
For
able
the
to tell.
1.2 people listening to this, or for future reference, maybe you should read out the poems on the parchment.
Okay. The last line of each refers to a body part. Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it? I'm just wondering if you're the saltwater queen, and the one who drowns is not dead is Stiiv. All right. The green parchment poem is the fourth counsel of the dreams upon a crystal pillow, twixt the dragon below and between. A paper door is found to the Feywild's willow by the hand of a saltwater queen. And then the yellow parchment poem is fiends play hide and seek. One who drowns is not dead. A paper door is found to the land most bleak, sleeping on the wizard's head. Curious.
I really don't want to go to where these toys.
So you recognize hey, this is more draconic prophecy crap. Or maybe you don't use the word crap, like Kymir, you being a student of the Broken Code, you're like, whoa. More excerpts that the dragons perhaps were studying because they thought they were important.
So do I get the feeling that they're from the same body of text, or they're just, because they all feel like they're all like the 4 lines, each poem's got like 4 lines.
The draconic prophecy is extensive, but you do know that it tends to be in snippet couplets. It's a very large work. These just seem to be excerpts. And you know that the prophecies are extensive enough that it's rare for anyone except the most ancient dragons to have an extensive familiarity with the entire breadth of them. Usually scholars just pick out sections that they think are of the most interest or relevant to, say, political powers, or most relevant to things they're interested in.
All right.
So it's not necessarily anything you've ever read before, at the monastery, but you recognize the format.
Okay. Do we want to grab the toys then and take them back to Gary?
Do another insight check, everyone. Kymir, as you are... Well, do you pack the toys away?
Well, I'll put the belt in. I don't think the wooden rocking giant is a good idea to take if it's quite large.
Yeah, it's fairly large and heavy.
Then I guess just grab the others. But although if Kerithlana's got like the doll on the wagon, then she'd probably put them into the bag of holding.
Shaefira, do you fiddle with anything in particular?
Am I still rocking on down on the giant?
Are you still rocking? Well, you were rocking on the giant, and it's beltless giant now, so the pants fall down.
Okay. Well, yeah, I can be just sort of snooping around.
You don't notice anything else weird about the giant rocking horse? Like the belt, once that seems to be the only piece of its outfit that isn't sewn on, it seems.
Okay. An anatomically correct rocking giant?
I've not gone into that much detail.
She has not. She has not looked.
I have not looked underneath. No.
Yeah, he still has giant underpants, and Shaefira has not looked.
No, I'll leave that to you, Stiiv. Yeah. So there's nothing particularly special about the rocking giant, so we can leave that behind. Yeah.
It seems you don't see anything else.
To the party.
Between the piece of parchment you pulled off of it and the belt, that you don't see anything else of interest.
And the underpants don't look particularly magical, so I don't think we need anything else off.
It's like this blue metallic hoop you can hand over to Stiiv to stick in the bag. There's also this kind of alchemist play set is kind of large. It's a small table. It's a child-sized table, but for a wyrmling child, that's almost the same size as a normal alchemist table. So it's a little bit heavy and unwieldy too, and it has a whole bunch of different vials and powders and pieces on top of it.
I wouldn't have thought that was the kind of toys he wanted, really.
Like, how many of us had chemistry sets?
You think it's maybe like a junior alchemist's play set?
Oh, so it vials of raw salt.
So it probably has some chemicals and stuff, but probably not the most dangerous types. The wagon, though, and the little hut on stilts, and the dolls, those are light enough to move. They seem to be made out of, like the hut and the wagon are either made out of a very lightweight wood that they've been carved out of, or it's a strange kind of alloy that isn't like anything that you've encountered before. It's very lightweight, but it seems to be hard to the touch.
You said the doll's house was on stilts. Are they actual stilts or feet stilts?
Well, the feet seem to be kind of molded in a strange shape that almost looks like chicken's legs. And the one witch that was holding the quarterstaff, the doll that was holding the quarterstaff, is standing right outside of it.
So do we think that was her house?
That's where she was placed with the set.
Since Stiiv rolled a 21 on the Arcana check to identify this stuff, he's heard of Barovia, hasn't he?
Yeah, he recognized that this seems to be this place, Barovia, you've heard about from far off. Just from the way things looked, it matches the pictures you've seen of people who have written about the place. And you recognize the tag Blinksy Toys. That's a Barovian thing.
Yeah, so he's basically on the other side of the room with goosebumps going like, do not want.
Meanwhile, Kymir's trying to shove toys into your bag of holding, so he's like bringing them closer.
Stand still and take it.
And Kymir, as you pick up the one kind of witchy ragdoll that's holding a quarterstaff in its opposable grip.
Oh, it fucking stabs me, doesn't it?
No, the quarterstaff with the bladed ends falls out of its opposable grip, and you pick it up, and it suddenly grows larger and grows proportional to you.
It's a monkey staff.
And you look at it, and it seems to be like a double-bladed scythe. Like there's a quarterstaff down the center of it, but each end the blade kind of extends in a crescent. And you see the grip where before it was just like this kind of like almost looked like taggy little sequins on the tiny version of the quarterstaff. The grip almost looks like it's studded with emeralds.
Blimey.
I'm going to put that in your party sheet. And as you hold it, you're like, hey, this is a really interesting quarterstaff. Like you do feel like this counts as a quarterstaff.
Okay.
The type that you've trained with before. You've never encountered one that had blades stacked on the end before.
Okay.
This is like when you were a young tiefling at the monastery and you would like tie daggers to the end of your quarterstaff with string, but it never worked.
You're like are you shoving the rest of the stuff, trying to shove the rest of the stuff into Stiiv's bag?
No, I'm now engrossed with the quarterstaff, and I'm like doing all the kung fu moves with it.
So what has made its way into Stiiv's bag of holding?
Yeah, I don't know.
I think the belt did, right?
The belt, yeah, I put the belt in because you said it felt magical, and I'd probably like to know what it is, but I wouldn't have a clue. So maybe Gary can tell us.
Okay, so that's mesh belt.
Yeah.
What about the clockwork lizard?
There was the
Well, I
clockwork.
guess I would.
The clockwork lizard was on the floor in the other room.
I guess I would shove the doll that had the quarterstaff in.
The witchy kind of doll.
Yeah.
Is Blinksy.
Stiiv is visibly, he's holding the bag of holding open like a trash bag, but is like visibly cringing off to the side, like eyes squinting, like
There's this little dollhouse with chicken legs, like stilts. He can get tossed in. A little wagon that has a clockwork wyrmling pulling it. But you notice when you look at this wyrmling, unlike the clockwork lizard and the clockwork small child dressed in a little jester outfit, it doesn't have a key on its back to wind it. You don't see anything like that.
Are the rest of these being put into party inventory so I can shove them in the bag that I don't want to be carrying?
Yeah, let me put some things.
Also, who's carrying the scraps of parchment with the draconic prophecy on them?
Stick them in the bag.
Oh, we decided that week you went around that you've got the first one.
Okay, so that was the scorched one with the burn it on it. Okay.
I've already lost track of what I've dragged into this place. Have you already taken out?
If I can get the flying cloud, then that'll be all. And that's a reference to Discord. So whilst you're doing things with.
It's a lot of toys. Okay, you don't do the play set.
really-
You don't do the dragon, not the dragon, the
Giant.
rocking giant. Oh yeah, there's a toy drum, and as you fiddle with it, the drum. You think that the band that holds the skin in place that makes the drum sound, you think that that's removable. And I think that's all the toys. I think I've dumped all the toys into your party inventory.
There were 2 witchy ragdolls?
Yes.
One had a turban.
Oh, right.
One should say another witchy ragdoll, and
Yep.
one's witchy ragdoll.
Yep.
Awesome.
So there's a lot of toys in your bag.
Oh, wait, hold on.
And Kymir has this seemingly magical monkey-like quarterstaff.
Okay, toy dragon plushie we gave back to Gary.
We did, yes.
Yes.
Toy dollhouse I already have. So those 2 need to go.
Oh, you already pulled that one? Okay.
And we already gave Gary back his plushie.
I think that's left behind from before. I think you probably dragged it back in the party inventory when you gave it back, and I never took it out.
You can take the Taraka deck as well.
But me or did Kerithlana, did you? I thought you took the...
Well,
No, I've not taken it.
where last we left it, you plucked a card out with your mage hand, and it's still sitting in the wagon.
Okay.
Otherwise,
Well, with bag with the mage hand. So I don't have to touch it.
it's a tiny deck of cards with pictures.
All that Stiiv knows is that there's been stories from Barovia, and none of them are good.
All right, well, let's take him back to Gary. So we fulfilled what he asked us to do, but we can ask him about them while we're there.
Although we should take some of these...
Do we want to take it now, or do we want to wait and finish, like, seeing off the demons?
Oh, wait, I didn't see ready parchment.
Oh, no, never did I. Hang on.
Yeah, that's another piece of the Draconic Prophecy.
Oh yeah, you were fiddling with a toy drum, and the band that held the skin into place, you kind of knocked it askew, and you realized that it kind of fell open, and there was a piece of parchment inside the drum. The band that was holding it in place, it just seems to be like a bronze circlet. It's of the size it could fit on somebody's head, much like the Oceany
Tiara.
bits that Kerithlana is now wearing. But it seems to just be made out of bronze.
When the flump is turned.
So another piece of seems like another bit of draconic prophecy. It reads, "The blue balloon rises but does not float in the sky. Be wary." Oh wait, it disappeared. Somebody took it out of the inventory.
Oh, sorry, I've taken a copy of it. Hang on.
Let me open another.
The blue balloon rises but does not float in the sky. Be wary of another set of eyes. When the flump is turned, the demon lord is nigh. Kindness is Is this kindness?
It should be kindness.
All right, kindness is rescue. The selfish dies.
Yeah, the ancient script gets muddled after so much time.
Or whenever you're writing it at 3 in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you were debating whether or not to go ahead and go back to Farron and Gary now and go ahead and return the toys, or proceed with looking around this place.
Yeah. What do we reckon?
If we go back to Gary with what we've got, he can let us know whether or not what we've got is complete. So we can do more targeted looking rather than wandering around on the off chance that we've missed something.
Okay.
DM question.
Yes.
Do any of us know what a flump is?
Uh, do nature or arcana check.
No.
Wow.
Kymir knows that a flump is a creature. Let me look up flump.
I
There-
have it in
I
my
think-
D&D manual.
I think they might usually be found in the Underdark, but don't quote me on that.
Yep, they are
Yes.
friendly floating creatures that are generally found in the Underdark.
Mm-hmm.
And
Anything else?
telepathic.
Anything friendly in the Underdark.
That's like the only thing.
Yeah.
Like the one thing that's friendly.
It looks cute.
Yeah. That's what Kymir knows. They're generally considered cute. Maybe not as adorable as a druid ferret, but they're certainly cute for the Underdark.
One might say they're flump out of water.
Oh dear.
So you're headed back to Farron and Gary.
I'm all for that plan because that gets the stuff out of my bag. Like, yeah. We're
Okay.
nowhere near this stuff.
Okay. So you're headed south again. Scurry, scurry, scurry. And that's where we'll leave it for next time.
Okie dokie.
Everybody carrying a bag of holding of what seems to be dragon toy stuff. Some of it that makes Steve very uncomfortable. And you're taking it back to the kid.
Like, they're just really cool with carrying around all this extra planar demon toys. Like, why am I the only one weirded out by this? You're just all chill.
Okay. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Have a good
All
night.
right. Yep, you too. We'll see you next week. Don't eat
See
all
you
that
next
flapjack.
week.
I'm going to eat all of it. No.
Not tonight, anyway.
I was waiting for you to say it's too late.
It's already gone.
All right, guys.
Bye
And
bye.
All right.
it tells an awful lot about the morality of our crew when they were very chill about looting some kid's bedroom when he was like right next door.
Shh.
He told you to.
No, he
did.
told us to find any toys that were lost. When they're in his bedroom on display, they're not lost. They're
Fairly
they're
sure
supposed
you
to
were the
be.
one who said, let's pick him up and take him back to him.
No, it wasn't. I said leave him alone.
Too late now. What's the
Well,
worst it can happen?
He said to find
Yeah, but
toys
we
that were
don't know
lost.
what's lost.
He didn't
was
have
on
them.
display in his bedroom.
He was totally separated from them by a bunch of demons, so maybe he considered that lost.
We have a very interesting definition
The
of
property
lost.
laws in Kabar are quite strange.
Apparently,
Look.
yeah, if it's not on your person, it's lost. It used to be.
I feel that the DM has put a lot of effort into working out what toys they are and the clues inside them, so we have to do something with it.
No, that's not metagaming at all.
Not at all.
Also,
Not at
I got a really cool quarterstaff out of it, so shut up.
Yeah, you're going to have this 10-foot zone around you in every combat just in case, though.
Yeah, probably.
Toy danger,
dear.
toy danger.
Definitely toy
I
danger.
understand why Stiiv is concerned because you probably didn't have very many toys when you were growing up. So toys all seem very, very frightening.
Maybe that's what freaks him out.
He has an irrational fear of dolls, which actually,
No,
Yeah,
that's
it's not
valid. Is that?
irrational.
No, that's
Yeah,
not
it's
irrational
not
at all.
yeah,
not
but
irrational.
yeah. Oh, so it's not irrational to have a fear of dolls, but we'll just shove him in my bag that I have to carry.
Look,
Okay.
Well,
If DM had said that doll had turned around and attacked me with that quarterstaff, Kymir would have screamed and run away.
Have you not seen Child's Play? It just means he hasn't stabbed
Yes.
you yet.
Yep,
And he's
I
in
have.
my bag. 0 to 3 sad onions.
But he's in your bag now. He's fine.
It's fine. I'm sure it's fine.
It's fine. You're just
Oh,
not going to
dear.
be the one that's not stabbed.
All right. Well,
All
we'll
right.
find out next week, won't we?
It's a future us, no, future me problem, not future you
future
problem.
all of you problem.
Yeah, it gives Bonnie plenty of time to work out what the hell she's going to do to
Yeah.
freak us out.
What am I gonna do? I don't know.
Yeah, what sort of hellacious torment are you going to sick upon us from the inside of my sack?
Well, that sounded wrong.
When you look at it that way, huh? Oh, so that's when it becomes a problem.
Oh, dear.
All right. Well, bye, Stiiv. Bye, y'all. Have a good week.
Yes,
Bye,
you
Steve.
too. Take care, and look after yourselves.
Stay healthy.
bye-bye.
Bye.